Hello, my name is Ryan Mooney, and this is my brand positioning analysis for Adidas. So we're going to go through and have a look at the Adidas background. So we know Adidas has a long history. They're one of the founders of the sportswear industry and were founded back in 1949 by Adolf Dassler. They're considered the inventor of the industry. They have a history that is rich in success and proven results, sponsoring notable events such as the Olympics and the FIFA World Cups, and even saw early success when they were first initiated. Adidas is intertwined with competition. So Adolf and his brother used to work in a family shoe factory together. However, after a disagreement, they fell apart. Adolf went and created Adidas, whereas his brother went and founded Puma, and since then a rivalry was born. The initial goal of Adidas was to make a difference in athletic performance. They originally started in just sprinting spikes and football boots. When compared to today, they have an extremely diversified profile that spans across multiple sports, products, and frames of references. Industry data reveals that Adidas generates over $440 million in profit in a year, and this is just in 2023 alone. This is in line with their new mission to be the best sports brand in the world. When analysing Adidas's brand positioning, four key questions are going to be investigated, followed by some specific recommendations for Adidas. Has a frame of reference been established? So the frame of reference is important because it dictates the type of associations that will function as points of parity and points of differences. The field of which competitors compete on is the frame of reference. So Adidas has a number of extensive products on their line. However, the majority fall under the athletic athleisure footwear categories. Nike and Puma are the two key competitors in this frame of reference. There are a number of other competitors that I'm not going to be discussed today, like Under Armour, Brooks, and Asics. I'm just going to focus on Puma and Nike. Brand positioning is at the heart of a marketing strategy. It is the act of designing the company's offer and image so that it occupies a distinct and valued place in the target consumer's mind. When analysing the demographics of the target market, some key information was identified. So the target market are often going to be 18 to 35-year-olds. And this is shown through the demographics and their purchase behaviour, which I'll discuss soon. So there's been an increase in activewear purchase intentions between 18 to 35-year-olds. When comparing a segmentation data for age demographics between 20 and 2024, it is clear that this is true. As you can see, there has been an enormous shift in purchase behaviours within this age demographic. It is also clear that the target markets are mostly middle to high income earners who have stable jobs. This is evident when analysing the price point of the Adidas products. It is clear that consumers have shifted purchase intentions towards brands they associate with sustainability. Market research shows this. So they look at sustainable products and materials. Consumers are also most likely to purchase new shoes if there is an increased technological advancement or they can see a benefit out of it as well. Loyalty and satisfaction leads to higher purchase intentions. If that trust is broken, consumers are likely to switch to other competitors. And quality and durability expectations are expected, especially when purchasing Adidas products. It is evident that consumers are most likely to purchase expensive products in the industry only if they are high quality and proven. This can often be subjective and is harder to actually identify within the segment, but it's one of the most valuable. Brand signaling is important for our consumer. They like to signal that they purchase Adidas because they are often conscious of what they think and what others think of themselves. They need a high performance output as well, and they want to signal their brand's personality, whether it's to be creative or innovative. They want to signal that. They also like signaling the fact that they purchase high quality products, so they will purchase Adidas products. Consumers are often seen, like I said, to be self-conscious, and they're aware of their appearance. They often live a fairly active lifestyle, but the prime need of our target market is that they want high quality, comfortable, stylish. They want an elite and exclusive product that's obviously innovative and new. And lastly, we look at the geographic segmentation. So we know Adidas operates globally, but they have large incomes primarily in Europe and North America. That's where their largest regions are. So it's important to constantly focus on what trends are happening in those areas. So all of this information on our target market helps form the basis of our frame of reference and what it is that our target market are actually looking for. After this, we start looking at the playing field or the nature of competition. So, one lesson stressed by many marketing strategists is not to define competition too narrowly. Research on non comparable alternatives suggests that even if a brand does not face direct competition in its product category, and thus does not share competition related attributes with the other brand, it can still share more abstract associations and face indirect competition, more broadly defined within the product category. So, this quote here from Keller is important to understand within the context of Adidas. So even if you're just in the sportswear category, they need to look further abroad into the designer apparel, casual streetwear, and even fashion accessories as well. Adidas clearly has multiple frames of reference which it operates in, but for the purpose of this one, we are looking mostly at the direct sportswear frame of reference because we want to understand what the target market is and where is Adidas positioned in relation to its competitors.
It is not uncommon for a brand to identify more than one frame of reference. The analysis that I've conducted reveals multiple frames of reference at play that Adidas belongs to, and these sit across multiple categories. Each category has its own unique points of parity and points of difference that Adidas needs to consider to be competitive in that frame. So, when we look at this, it gives multiple brands frames of references to play within. In order to be successful, it's important for Adidas to position themselves correctly within each frame of reference. And we're going to explore the athleisure frame of reference in a moment and compare against the direct competitors.
Furthermore, when we dive deeper into the competitive nature of the athleisure wear and active wear market, a competitive analysis and comparison of Adidas, Nike, and Puma was conducted. This is so we can actually start to look at all of the competitors within the frame of reference that are important and relevant to Adidas. We can then start to look at how Adidas and where Adidas positions themselves in relation to their competitors. So, a competitive analysis considers a whole host of factors, including resources, capabilities, likely intentions, and various of other factors for the firms, in order for marketers to choose markets where consumers can be profitably served. Nike and Puma are the two largest direct competitors in the industry for Adidas. This can be seen by the profitability since 2006 within the graph on the screen. So Puma is the third largest, founded in 1949 by Adi Dassler's brother. Therefore, a rivalry has been existing since the formation of both companies. The slogan is Forever Laster and is representative of the marketing strategies employed by Puma. They target ambassadors that are known for being fast, hence most of the associations that come with Puma are that it's a fast brand. And thus they also go for stylish ambassadors. So we think about Manchester City as one of the largest football teams in the world. They're also known for the style of play that they have. And thus they look for associations in their marketing and they position themselves as a stylish shoe or a fast shoe within the market. We can also see Nike as the largest market share. They've been around since 1971, so they're a bit newer, but they have a very aggressive marketing strategy. As an example, prior to 1990, Nike didn't really globalize their product that much, and they were big in the North American scene. A lot of their marketing was around NBA and NFL. After 1990, they've targeted football or soccer to target a global market, and their brand within all factors or all frames of references actually took off as they wanted to expand their global presence and used football as the driving force behind that. They pride themselves on being innovative and stylish, and they also cater for a range of target markets who have low income, medium income, and high income. So they have a broad range of their target markets in order to try and be the most profitable and own the most market share. They have a lot of big money endorsements, so their aggressive marketing campaign uses people like Michael Jordan, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Mbappe. They seek to bring innovation to every athlete. So that's important for Nike as they look to go for the biggest market share. So in comparison, when we start to look at Adidas and where they position themselves, a lot of the Adidas marketing is around being the best. So they want to position themselves in a way that can be seen as high quality in relation to the likes of Nike and high quality in relation to the likes of Puma. When looking at the position of Adidas, and to do this correctly, a positioning statement was written to active individuals and athletes who need to be the best on and off the competitive field of play. Adidas is the brand of German craftsmanship, innovation, and proven results. because Adidas has the longest history of crafting quality in the market. This is to tap into the needs and wants of the consumer, to be high quality and to be an elite product, to be the best. Whilst also tapping into the understanding that active individuals and athletes that want to be the best, not just for sport, but for day to day life, so off the field. So now that I've determined the frame of reference of which Adidas is playing within, we start to turn our attention to the points of parity, and we need to be able to identify what it is that makes Adidas a legitimate player within the field. Or when we look at the broader market and compare and analyze, we start to come up with a bit of a criteria as to what is needed in order to compete. So when we look at category point of parity, specific product attributes are required in order to play ball. In essence, it's the minimum expectation to compete. There's no guarantee that this will make a brand better than the others. However, it provides an opportunity to play in the field. And we know that the points of parity may actually change over time due to legal developments or technological advancements. Even consumer trends can play a part as well. So as a result, when analyzing across the market, I found that sustainability was a massive point of parity because of the big shift in consumer trends, and even some legal requirements in international countries for supply chains and production, and even products to be sustainable or recyclable, in order to be sold. So there's a changing trend towards being a sustainable product. And we know Adidas has already committed to utilize only recycled polyester, and achieve climate neutrality by 2050. So this is another important factor to understand. We know that the laws which change over time play a big part within that as well. Nike is another industry leader within this field, so they're pretty comparable in that point. However, what Adidas has done is made a definite commitment by 2050. They're going to be a climate neutral company. Another vital component for the athleisure and sportswear is the design of the shoe. So being fit for purpose and being comfortable and usable. So knowing that what the product is made out of is going to be able to make sure it completes its purpose. Athleisure and active footwear are designed for this reason. They're designed for the human body. You're not going to go run a marathon in clogs or thongs. I did put a link in there to someone who had completed a marathon in thongs, but that's just as an example to show that this isn't actually a legitimate competitor within the field. In order to be that legitimate competitor within the field, you need to be able to produce a shoe that is comfortable and runnable, in order to be fit for purpose. And this is another thing that makes sure that you're a legitimate player within the field. Which brings us to competitive points of parity. And this is the points of parity that brands use to negate the competitors' points of differences. So we start to look at shoe design and technological advancements through research and development. They're a source of hot debate at the moment in the sportswear industry, especially in athleisure wear. It seems as though almost all of the players in the sportswear field have a level of R&D to ensure that their shoes are as advanced as possible to try and negate the advancements made by the competitors. This is important, especially when we start to look at Adidas and Nike, as each year, each shoe is being released as a new, advanced version of the previous shoe. So this is an example of shoe companies trying to be better than one another through R&D to negate each other's competitive advantages. Now, we also turn our attention to major tournament and event sponsorships, another important point of parity within the industry. So each of the major players sponsor or are endorsed by a number of celebrities or a number of events. And the aims of these events and endorsements is to enhance the association of the brand. So obviously Adidas are sponsoring the FIFA World Cup, which is known as the best of the best sporting event in the world. So the best teams are coming together. Adidas sponsors it to try and enhance the being the best with Adidas. Africa, the African Cup of Nations, is sponsored by Puma to try and get that association of the Puma brand with Africa, which is known as being fast, therefore trying to get the brand of fast and association with Puma. This is an example in the football world, which actually translates to the brand as a whole. So when we start to look at the actual frame of reference, we start to begin to understand why the brands target specific endorsements or specific tournaments in order to try and leverage that association required. And finally, we look at correlational points of parity. And these are perceived by customers as trade-offs for a set of positive associations with a brand, product, or service. So when we look at Adidas and the market, for example, we can identify a couple of correlational points of parities. So the trade-off between sustainability and being durable. Often people associate product that is made from recycled goods as poor quality and not very durable. This is something that brands within the industry need to combat, especially as they move towards a sustainable future. Nike is an impressive example of their marketing, being able to market their high quality products as being sustainable simultaneously. Whereas Adidas has gone a different route and have marketed how sustainable they are and marketed how high quality they are in two different avenues. And next correlational points of parity is by being the oldest brand or age does not necessarily mean you're the most technologically advanced. Now, this is something that's a bit more unique to the older brands within the industry. However, it's the idea that consumers perceive established or older brands as being outdated or vintage, and this is proven through research. However, this is something that is combated by Nike and Adidas and Puma because they're releasing new technologically advanced shoes, and their marketing negates this by being able to emphasize how technologically advanced their products are. We move our analysis towards points of difference, and we need to identify strong, unique, and favorable pods for the Adidas brand. And to do this, we ask two questions. Are they desirable and are they deliverable? Using this criteria, I found two clear points of differences. Adidas's history and Adidas's high quality and innovation. We've deemed that Adidas's history is both deliverable because of Adidas's history of producing high quality products, and it is desirable because we know the consumer wants to have high quality proven products. We know that the high quality innovation is both desirable and deliverable as well because we have the resources in our supply chain to create the high quality product. We invest millions upon millions into R&D, and we know that our consumer wants this. We create innovative, comfortable shoes and also sustainable products, which is definitely wanted by the target market as well. Now we start to look at the equity that's available to the Adidas brand within the frame of reference. Now, Keller states that brand equity measurements are a set of procedures to provide marketers with timely, accurate, and actionable information about their brand. So, for the purpose of this analysis, I'll be conducting a brand audit through the use of the dollar metric method, and I'll be analysing the percentage of market share should Adidas was to increase their prices as a measure of the brand's equity. I questioned 5 participants within the target market on their brand preference at $20 intervals. Both shoes are taken from the activewear frame of reference and are considered entry-level running shoes. Both shoes are similar in specifications and purpose. The Adidas Supernova retails for $130 and the Nike Revolution also retails for $130. When the prices increased by $20 initially from the $130, you can see here that Adidas's market share does not change. This indicates that there is a form of brand equity that exists. However, as the brand or the shoe's price is increased, the market share decreases for Adidas and shifts towards Nike. So this demonstrates that there is a degree of brand equity. However, it's not weak or it's not as strong as it could be because you can see after about $190, all of the target market shifts loyalty towards Nike. So that shows me that maybe the consumer is price sensitive to a point, therefore deeming that the product is not as appealing if the price is too high. So in conclusion, there's 3 recommendations for Adidas based on the analysis. The first being to increase price due to the current equitability identified. So whilst the dollar metric method revealed a level of brand equity that would allow the company to increase their prices, the brand's loyalty is not wavered for slight increases. However, large increase tests the loyalty of their customer. We know that these clients are not price sensitive if the product quality is high, and that's the association we want. And we also want the association of sustainability and high quality, which leads us to the second recommendation, to emphasize stability alongside products with high quality. This is to reduce negative correlations and associations. We want to be able to market our high quality advanced options alongside advertising how sustainable they are to reduce the chances of negative associations. And our final recommendation is to leverage the history of the company. Now, to do this, we need to go beyond just saying we're old, because we want to negate the negative correlation of being seen as vintage. We want to be seen as technologically advanced. And this is important when we think about our German heritage. And we know consumers perceive German brands as being high quality, as being innovative and efficient. Therefore, we want to use that association to help promote the Adidas brand in the frame of reference.